Ooh. Are we live? Are we live? Hello, everyone. I hope this is live, not delayed. I'll give everyone a few minutes to jump in through the door here. Hope everyone's having a good Sunday. Oh, I'm having a 5 p.m. cup of tea to sort of get back into the swing of things. How the devil is everyone doing? Drop some love in the comments. Let me know you're in there. I am recovering big time after Blackpool. What am I now? I'm 18 months sober. So this is my second sober Blackpool, and I've come back feeling infinitely worse than I did than when I used to go and get wasted and party it up. What's up, Sid? Hello, Magic with Foe. We got Mike. How's it going, Mike, in the chat? Nico, Kevin, how's everybody doing today? So Blackpool was a week ago, and I've come back. I'm on. Look how puffy my face is. Ugh. I'm on steroid tablets. I got Jonah Berg. Yo, what's going on, Jonah? Jeremy, Anthony, Elliot. Yo, what's going on, everyone? John Hayes. Wow, there's loads of you. Anthony Povey. How is everyone doing? Elliot, man, how are you feeling after Blackpool? You were, of course, as always, one of the main attractions of Blackpool for me. You always show me the most creative visual magic every convention. It's becoming a thing now. If I ever go to a convention and Elliot Gerard is not blowing my mind, then the world is probably over. How's it going, Max? Naman? Tinfoil Cat? I love that name. Oh, Mikey. 11 months to Blackpool. Oh, Shark. Phil. Shark, man. I need to just have a massive catch up with you. How's it going, Nick? Oh, Nick, how you doing, man? Good to see you in the chat. Thomas, nice to meet you. He says, it was lovely to meet you and Kaylee at Blackpool. Had a ball-in time at the podcast. Oh, God, the podcast was an absolute car crash. The Redstone Golem. It was nice. It was great to meet you, too. I don't know who you are, the Redstone Golem, from the username. But it was good to meet you. Oh, thanks, Alex. Yeah, drop some likes on the video if you can. It helps with the algorithm, apparently. Yes, Shark. I got your message yesterday, Shark, as I was going out the door into the car. So I was like, oh, man, we need to have a massive catch-up. And then Kaylee was like, plug the baby in the car seat. And then you know what it's like. Recovering myself also, says Gary. Came home from Blackpool with COVID. Yeah, you're not the only person. I don't have COVID. But a bunch of people have COVID. Mitchell missed it. John. QQQ. What magic-related decor props you have? Be cool to have some. I actually have a few things. I have this on my desk, actually. Let me see if I can show you guys. Which I picked up. I'll just do it by hand. But I got one of these. I just love this floating stuff, which is a floating. Whoa. Here we go. It's a floating desk lamp. I keep this by the side of my computer. I've got one of those. I've got another floating deck display. And I got like all some classic Magic posters and bits and pieces. I need more. I want more. I've got an Impossible model too. And another like light bulb thing. Wow, look at all these comments popping up. It's going to be hard to catch up with everyone today. Mitchell, I'm getting to have missed you too, mate. I had a ball of a time meeting so many people at Blackpool. Kevin says, did you see what I came up with for your closer? No, I have not seen it. John says, Lloyd, you're my favorite YouTuber. John Vintage. Oh, dude, thank you so much, John. Ventura, California. I went and stayed in Ventura in California for a week. In a great like sort of mansion place. And it had a big, huge swimming pool. Janet Trainer. Thank you so much, Janet. Fiddlin' Johnny, how you doing, man? Good morning. All right, Jonah Berg says, best mentalism books out there. Oh, it's a tough one. I like Attic Salt by Peter Turner. I'm halfway through reading that at the moment. That's killer. If you like mental card magic, then I like Mentalismo by John Bannon, which is over there somewhere. I also picked up Harper Crown by Mark Chandeau a couple of weeks ago, and that's an incredible book. It's an incredible two-set book. David Jonathan. Oh, yo, David Jonathan's in the chat, everyone. he just released Vox with Murphy's Magic. It's an any card at any number that uses Siri. So you have the spectator give the deck a mix, and then you ask Siri to name a card and a number, and it does, and the card is exactly at the number. Look at this! I'm throwing cards everywhere. Question. Oh, QQQ. I'm guessing QQQ means question. And so he says, what magic type carrying cases did you bring? I didn't bring anything, actually. In fact, so what I turned up to my, so I don't have a carry case, but I turned up to my Blackpool lecture, and this is the box that I brought. This is what I took on stage. This is a Christmas makeup kit that I think Kaylee got, Nivea number 7 or something, and this is my whole lecture. This is my whole lecture inside. So that's about as close to a carrying case as you'll ever see me have, and this was just upside down on my floor right now. So no carrying cases for me. It's not my style, unfortunately. What is that? Oh my god, there's so many things. So, any questions about Blackpool? What do you guys... hey, Scott. Oh, it was good to see you, Scott. Good to meet you and your partner there. Oh, hey, King. I know you from Doug Con's channel, Magic with Foe. Really? Wow, he's huge. He's a huge YouTuber. How do you know me from there, man? Okay. Also, 20 minutes I need to go. Okay, thanks, dude. Freak family. Hello from South Africa. Wow. Caleb Casper asks, hey man, I sent you a tic-tac trick I came up with your Instagram DM. I want you to look at it and tell me what you think. It's empty, go to full container. Oh, dude, I very much rarely check Instagram, to be honest. But if it's super important, you can email me. I'm just off social media, so I tend to share stuff from YouTube to Instagram. And the same for like my Facebook fan page, but I actually don't check the inboxes. So you probably would have seen the autoresponder that says it's not in you. So I apologize for that. What do we have here? Sam Sugarman, how you doing, buddy? Shark says, what's the best thing I saw at Blackpool out of the shows and lectures? Adam Wilbur. Oh, Adam, what's going on, dude? I was thinking about you yesterday. It's been too long. Best thing I saw at Blackpool... best thing I saw at Blackpool, Magic style in terms of do you know what, this is the 1 year, so you guys know every year I make the Magic video. This is the 1 year that I didn't really see anything outside of what you saw on the videos, because purely with the lecture, the podcast live, and everything, I just did not get a minute to sit down at all and hang out with anyone. And you all know the best Magic is shown at like 2 a.m. at the Ruskin when everyone is hanging out and jamming together. And this year it was impossible. I couldn't walk 2 meters without being stopped for photos and autographs and things, which is super flattering. But I'm pretty sure that's why I'm also so ill from shaking hands with everyone so much. So this was the 1 year where I didn't come away with... Normally I see a trick that will inspire me for the rest of the year to be like, okay, this is a game changer. I need to up my game. I don't think I really seen that this year from memory, because I didn't get time to sit down with anybody. It was crazy. But yeah, this isn't going to be a super long live. I'm only going to be here for like half an hour, if that, maybe 40 minutes, because genuinely... And I've just I'm on these steroid tablets and antibiotics. And you can see how puffy I am. Just because I got so ill from Blackpool. So I figured I would come on and just tell you a little bit about the weekend. And some of the interesting things that I can potentially remember from it. Because it was all such a blur this year. But there's so many people going on. Jonah Berg says Maxim or Vox. Both very different things. Very, very different tricks. You guys can see for yourself how wicked the reactions to Vox are, though. And there's a certain toy factor that comes with Vox, I feel, which makes it equally as fun for you to perform as it is to be perceived. So I always chop and change with the wind and what I like to do, but I for the minute I am fully hooked on Vox by David Jonathan. It is really, really, really fun to do, and it gets wicked reactions. So go for that. If it depends on the trick you want to do. So at the minute I'm on a Vox sort of like steam train run. Whoa, yo, give it up. Show some love for Alex. But Alex, dude, what the heck? He said it was amazing spending time with you all at Blackpool. Thank you for letting me hang out. Wow, drop some fire emojis in the chat for Alex there. Thank you, man, for the super chat. That is way too kind of you, man. Let me just refresh the window. Wow, thank you, dude. Adam Dadswell, what's going on, partner? How you doing, man? Dude, it was great to see you. Thank you for the special thing that you gave me. Oh, more questions on decks. Okay, wait. Let me try and catch up with these questions. Where am I? What makes Blackpool different from other Magic conventions? Great question, John. I'm really fortunate. I've been to almost every single Magic convention. There's only a handful that I haven't been to. The thing that makes Blackpool different is there isn't a singular thing. Obviously the scale of it is massive. I'll tell you what the difference is with Blackpool. Blackpool feels like, to me, it's about three things. It's about the newest tricks. So it's like every company spends their entire year working towards, or most companies, like it's not, not an entire thing, spends their entire year working towards their Blackpool releases. So you know that when you get to Blackpool that weekend, you are seeing the very latest, and mind the pun, greatest Magic products that are coming out to the market. Everyone brings their A game, which you, like other conventions, you will get an odd release here or there, but Blackpool is specifically garnered to the latest Magic products. And most of you watching this channel are probably like me. You just love new Magic. You love seeing new Magic. Yo, Keith O'Brien, I miss you too, man. I can't wait to hang out with you at Magic Live. It's going to be sick. I want to see more dog photos when I get there. That's one thing. The other thing is the caliber of acts and lecturers. I know it's biased that I've lectured this year, but that's another thing, which is just on another level. And then also you get the jam sessions at the late night Ruskin, which you do get. Oh my god! Wow, another super chat coming in. Hold on a second. Alex Kilpatrick, he said couldn't make it to Blackpool, had to settle for your Blackpool. Like, dude, thank you so much, man. Wow. And man, yo, thank you so much, guys. Can you drop some love in the window for all the super chats pouring in, guys? Thank you all so much. This is crazy. Wow. Yo, Naman, Alex, thank you guys. Blimey. The other thing is that I can't get over that. It's the jam environment. Now this year it was crazy. I mean, on top of like when you do something at a convention, when you're a part of the convention, normally like you will be pulled from pillar to post a bit more than usual. This year it was that for me, but also I feel like this was the busiest year in general. And I do know that like the Ruskin, it was one in, one out sort of environment. So like a lot of people couldn't get to do a lot of the stuff, which is kind of nuts. So that's Blackpool. I mean, that's like, yeah, the difference is that really. Whereas some conventions are more focused on the learning side of things. I always think like the session convention is where you go if you want to seriously study and up your game in like one field or via one lecturer in particular or two lecturers that you fancy watching in particular. And then you have like the London Magic Convention, which is like a really nice community feel convention. It also has some fantastic lecturers to boot as well. But Blackpool is really about like the latest, greatest, and like these killer jam sessions. So yeah, it's hard to put a finger on it. It's, the scale of it is just crazy, you know? Obviously have to ask, what's my trick of Blackpool Magic 2023? Asks Naman. Trick of Blackpool 2023 is probably and I have it here, and I'm gonna is it called Showtime? Let me just refresh. Michael Murray's trick. Is it called? Let me just double check what that's called. Can someone drop it in the comments? Because I've got the package. It's down. Is it downstairs or is it here? Yeah, it's downstairs. Probably the Berg or Michael Murray Showtime trick. Is that what it's called? Showtime. Someone can comment down below. But basically, you have a page torn out of a magazine, and you think of a movie and a celebrity that you can see out of a whole bunch of movies and celebrities, and then like the craziest, fairest way, the magician, the mentalist knows it, and then you fold the paper up and it's written right there. Like it's written, like it's hidden in all the words. It's the craziest thing. But there's a full trailer somewhere online you guys can go and watch. And also it's in my Blackpool video, which you guys can go back and see. I also seen some great stuff from Victor Sands and Juan Capilla. Those guys had some incredible stuff to show. A kid called Henry Ferris, who's like 13 years old, just making these crazy card gimmicks, was insane. There was also like loads of magic. Pete Turner was performing. He was on fire. He was showing a bunch of great stuff behind the scenes. Craig Petty, I went up early. I went up 2 days early and filmed a whole new project with Craig and Pete Turner as a joint thing. And some of the stuff that came out of that was absolutely wild. So that was some of the crazy stuff there. Like really, I put all the good stuff that I could into my Blackpool video. This is the 1 year that I just could not like get time to sit down. Next year, that'll be my number one goal, is to sit down and hang out. There's 71 people watching and only 21 likes. Let's make this change, please. Okay, Caleb, yes, you can email it to me for sure, man. Let me try and catch up with some of these questions. Great recovery on my lecture. Thanks, dude. The lecture was I don't know. Oh, Rafi. Is that Rafi? Hello, mate. How you doing, pal? Yo, it's so great to meet you, dude. Sam Sugarman says off forever. Yeah, so when we were filming the project, good old Sam Sugarman came with us. He came along, and Pete Turner parked his GT500 outside the location that we were shooting in, but we needed to move it. So he didn't want to leave it in Blackpool unattended. So Pete asked Sam, would he go and sit in his car? So he did. And then 2 hours later, obviously, because it's Pete Turner, he can talk for the UK. 2 hours later, we were still filming, and poor Sam was sat in the car guarding it for Pete. And he wasn't too happy. So I understand that totally, dude. Oh, there's so many comments. Okay, I'm just trying to skim through. Michael Parker, do you carry a normal wallet every day with you, or is it magic type wallet like the Orphic? Mitchell Parker, sorry. So actually, I don't carry a wallet at all. I do not carry a wallet. I just carry my phone and the key, my set of keys, because the town that I live in is essentially a contactless town. So we have pretty much contactless payments. Well, every single store in this town has contactless payments. So I have no need for a wallet at the minute, which is sad because I keep wanting to use my Nexus wallet. That is my go-to wallet. It's there in my drawer. But the reality is there is no need for a wallet anymore, which I think is going to become more and more normal for everyone. I feel like this is going to be something which slowly happens to every one of us in Magic. So for me, I don't carry a wallet. The only time I'll carry a wallet is if I want to use it for Magic, ironically. And but I'm trying to get myself ahead of the game by thinking of what I can use instead of wallets all the time, and I'm trying to figure out what the best options are, which is really annoying because there's so many great Magic wallets. The Orphic wallet is insane. The Nexus wallet is insane. Things like a Quiver, which is kind of like a wallet and everything. I want to use them, but my Magic is so organic that if I tried to without really using it, it just doesn't fit my style very much anymore. I went to a small and first Magic convention in Toronto, says John. Great. I've got Toronto Airport tattooed on my arm. I got matching tattoos with all the guys. Madison, McKinnon, all them. YYZ. Yo, Lloyd. Blackpool was amazing this year. Yeah, dude. Blackpool was crazy this year. Alex says, do you think Blackpool should be at the end of the as a season finale, end of the year maybe as a season finale? I think I think, should it be a... No, I think Blackpool needs to stay as it is. It's tradition now. I think if it was changed, it would lose some of the magic. Irregular Gentleman's Guide. Hey, it's Freak. Big thank you again. Wow, dude. Oh my god, guys. So in the chat right now, Irregular Gentleman's Guide is Daniel Dorian Johnson, also known as Freak, the creator of Iceberg, which you see me perform on Thursday's episode of Fool. I feel really bad because I didn't ask if I could perform it. I was just so excited to go home and take it out, learn it, and perform it. It just literally flipped my brain upside down when I see it. So if you guys get a chance to pick this up, it's an amazing everyday carry. It allows you to do A-cans with complete ease, and also without needing to go through the whole process of having a deck. And it's a one-card A-can. It's absolutely amazing. I love it so much. So thank you so much for sharing it with me, Daniel. It means the world. It's such an amazing effect. Oh, Magic Shop San Diego says it's a giant party that never stops. Dude, James Kellogg the third. Oh, actually, oh, well, it's in the video. The stuff you showed me, that lock that unlocks itself. Holy potato. Not unlocks itself, sorry. The lock that you have full control over the code that goes in. That was one of the most impressive feats of engineering I think I've ever seen. And your TNR, the TNR that you showed me with the staples is literally, it scratches every magician itch in my body when I watch it. It's so good. It's so thought out. So well done. Show reel, says Scott Patton, is the Michael Murray trick. That's how far at the comments I am. I apologize for not getting the name right. I'm going to be roundhouse kicked. But either way, I got a copy, and I'll be performing it on my next episode of Fooler if I can, or one of the next ones. Waiting for it eagerly. Yo, Punk BMX, been a long time, dude. Okay, Magic 4. This is funny. Yesterday I went to Daiso. It's a Japanese dollar store, but they had Magic there. And I bought some for $1, but they're actually okay for that. That's pretty cool. Okay, there's so many people asking for Dex updates. I think there's I can see King OK's question here. There's at least been 4 more people that have asked about it. Dex is... How long shall I make you wait? So the final elements to Dex have been confirmed, and there's no going back now. I don't want to say any more than that. I don't want to add fuel to the fire. I don't want this to become hyped. Stu Batman, how you doing, man? I'm just trying to quell expectations as much as possible, but we are in the home stretch now. So there we go. Alex Latour, hey Lloyd, thanks for coming over to our booth today. Juan Capilla showed me our beer pong shop cup. It was super. Dude, Alex, your guys' stand was, I literally just mentioned it's one of the best stands at the whole convention. You, Daniel, Juan, and Victor, just next level. It made me feel so inferior watching how good you guys were. Oh, thanks, Tom. I appreciate that, man. Hey, I like to go that way. Never use double lift. Oh, missed that. Never double lifts. It's very worn out. No bad feelings anyway. There's only for audience. Okay, I don't get what that comment's about. What was my favorite? My favorite moment, Rafi, was meeting you, man. You were so cool. Actually, me and Kaylee were talking about it on the drive home. It was so cool to see somebody so enthusiastic, so young, so talented. So meeting you was genuine. I love seeing the younger generation. I love seeing people that I picture myself as when I was your age. Genuinely, it was a huge highlight meeting you upstairs at the dealer table. Good morning, Daddy. Oh, Alex, it was your birthday yesterday. Oh, mate, now I feel terrible because I didn't wish you happy birthday. Everyone, please wish happy birthday to Alex on behalf of me and everyone else here. Happy birthday, Alex, dude. Damn. I'm so sorry. I should have known. What magic trick do I like to give away as a souvenir to a spectator? That's a good question. I like to do Lincoln rubber bands because they're quick and easy to make. You can make one up in a couple of minutes. You can make a whole batch up in a couple of minutes. They're very impossible. They can be put under scrutiny. I also used to... Rory Adams had a great trick, which is sort of out in the ether now, but it was with paper money in the UK when there was paper money. He would do angle zero with a £5 note, with a torn corner would be inside the bill. He was doing it. Somebody's released it a few years after him, but it was Rory's effect. And I would do this as much as I could. It would take me a long time to prep them, but the effect is just out of this world. The impossible object is so good because they could fold the note up and match the corner exactly through the light, and it would be really inside the bill. Who's this? Instead of super chat, Sean. Yo, oh Sean, man, thank you so much for the super chat. I'll say it on the cat. Oh, Sean's just had a baby, and we were messaging very briefly earlier today. Oh, thank you so much, dude. You didn't have to do that. Thank you for the super chat, dude. That's insane. Everyone drop some fire. Everyone drop some love emojis for Sean and the newborn. Stu Batman, sorry missed you at Blackpool. Saw you in the bear pit watching Ryland. Was going to wait till you stopped chatting to Craig and watching Ryland killing it. But oh, dude. Oh, I'm gutted I didn't meet you. It's been a long time coming. You should have just grabbed me. Man. Oh my god, the chat. There's so many chats. What deck am I playing around with? I think this is called the Resurrected or Resurrection deck. I was playing... Do you guys want to see this? Is something really stupid. I think there might be something to this, but it's really stupid, so don't judge me. But it was like a faux method to catch people out. So you guys know that... you guys know what a key card is. Right? Everyone knows what a key card is. That is when you know the card... Like, say the selected card is the 6 of diamonds. And you know the 6 of clubs is going to be above it. If you didn't know what the 6 of diamonds was, by going through the deck and finding the 6 of clubs... you would know the card in front of it would be theirs. So I would utilize this and I'd say, so this is a key card. What would happen is the magician would dribble through the cards. They would have someone call out stop and look and remember this card. That would go in the deck. And then they'd remember secretly what this card was, which is the Jack of Clubs. So they could look at the Jack and then know, without having to know the selected card, if they just find the Jack of Clubs... then the card in front of it would be the selection, right? So that's the premise. You set that up and you tell the audience that. So now I'd say, watch, I'm going to dribble through and the selected card is this one. I don't need to see what it is. And I'll remember the ace of clubs that goes on top. You can all see the ace. So the ace of clubs goes on top of the selection. And then all I need to do to find the card is to secretly, or in front of everyone, spread through the deck, look for the ace of clubs, and then see what card's in front of it. Or I could use magic and have it come to the top. I think that was it, right? So all you're doing is you're showing them the explanation of the key card by saying if someone chooses this card, I then look at this card, and all I have to do is find the 2 of hearts, and whatever card's in front of it will be the selection, right? Which is a trick that I got taught as a kid by another kid. But then the second time, I'm looking at the bottom card, and I dribble through, and I say, and I'm gonna fake call. So I'm looking at the 3 of hearts. I say, so this is the selection. Remember this card. I'm gonna look at the 3 of hearts. It's not. It's the 4 of diamonds. And I put this down for a moment, and then I pass the deck and say, so look, that's the 3. It's gonna go on top of the selection, and then I get that control to the top. And I think it's just a fun way to get really far ahead. I don't know what trick I'm gonna do with it yet. I was just playing around with that premise of giving them a real explanation, but then a false performance, and just getting myself 2 steps ahead. So one more time, and you guys can probably think of a better use of it for this than me, but it would be like this. You'd say magicians do this thing where a card gets selected. In this case, let's go for this card. It gets remembered, placed in the deck, and then the magician secretly remembers this card. And now, even if they don't know what the selection is, they can spread through, look for the Queen of Clubs, which is here, and they know the card right in front of it is the selection, even if they don't know what the selection is. So, well, I'll show you how that looks in a performance. So you'll say, I'll dribble down like this. This will be the selection. I'm going to remember the 3 of spades, so you can all actually see it's there, and place it on top of the selection. So now the 3 of spades goes like this, on top of it. And now all I need to do is spread through and look for the 3 of spades, and the card right in front of it will be your card. Or I can use magic and have it come to the top. It's a really stupid thing. I have no idea if it's any good or not, but I think there's something to it. Like this whole idea of, I'm really obsessed at the minute with letting spectators, and I talked about this in my lecture, letting spectators know a little, because if anybody thinks that spectators or participants have no clue about magic and think that it's completely real, then you're wrong. It's not a debatable thing. Any kid that's been to school and seen this, or see people do this with coins, they know it's sleight of hand. So there's no point trying to pretend that doesn't exist. You may as well acknowledge it. And if you are going to acknowledge it, it means you can use it to your advantage. And when you can use it to your advantage, you can sort of let people in through the front door, and then you creep out the back and kick them in the head. So yeah, that's something I've just been like experimenting with and going on tangents through. Is that the word? Tangents on, even. Let me read some of these comments. Did I lose you all there? Sorry, I was just nerding out a little bit. I can't remember where the last comment I was. Phil and Johnny says, I love the A-can you did on your channel this week. I can't wait to get my hands on it and play around with some variations. Oh, thanks, dude. I really appreciate that, man. Yeah, that A-can is... I didn't actually get time to do it in the Blackpool lecture. So I got time to do one trick at the end, which was like a new variation of a Thought Dog card that I've been working on. But the actual A-can, the Thought of card, I say A-can, it's a card at any number. Really, you know, if people ever get into semantics. I didn't actually get time to perform or teach it, so only the people on my Patreon, are the people that can know what it is. And we got Christian Grace in the chat. Ooh. Magic Monthly. Guys, Christian Grace is right here. He says, sent you a message in case you missed it. I have a gift for you. Oh, I have been busy, but I will be messaging you back. In fact, I cannot not message Christine Grace back right now. Chris, if you're watching, I'm going to read the message. The thing is ready. Oh my FG. Let's catch up tomorrow. I can't catch up tonight because I've got to do family stuff. And also send it. Thank you, Christian Grace. I love you, dude. And man, by the way, every time I caught a glimpse of you at Blackpool, you were doing the thing, and everyone was talking about it. You were the highlight of Blackpool, which is no surprise because you're an absolute god. Okay, I'll forever hold a grudge, Johnny. I hope you didn't spend too much time with that pig cake guy. He was on the podcast live. He was loco, yo. This is funny. Yesterday, okay, so there's that. You're what are you doing? Send a message. I don't like sitting on wallets. Put them in your front pocket. I wish to join Blackpool one day. Hey Lloyd, thanks for coming to our booth. I like to never use a double lift. Oh, there's so many. Sorry, I missed you. Any good Alakazam tricks? Yeah, there was some great Alakazam tricks. Hard stretch is amazing. Craig has a new coin thing out. Pete and JD. Anyone else figure out the Moonshine deck puzzle? One person has figured it out. One person has figured out the treasure hunt built into the Moonshine vintage elixirs. I bought Lucid by Roddy McGee. I didn't even... This is how crazy Blackpool was. I literally didn't even get a chance to see Roddy McGee on the Penguin stand. I seen Eric... And by the way, apologies to Eric because I spelt his name the British way, the correct way. In my Blackpool, no, I'm kidding. I'm so sorry. I spelt your name wrong in the Blackpool video, Eric. I'm an absolute douchebag. I'm so sorry, bro. But yeah, I didn't even get a chance to see Roddy, and he's always one of the highlights. He always brings it to Blackpool. Yes, definitely meet you in the next Blackpool stew. Watching, feeling really poorly from South Wales. Oh, Rich, man, I feel your pain. I'm feeling ill. I am super duper run down as well, but it sounds like you're having a tough time with what you texted the day. I did read it as well, but it's just been manic. I listened to someone, how did you angle Z? Wonder who told me. Oh, Akshay, yo! Wow, drop some love for the super chat from Akshay. Akshay Laxman was incredible to meet you at Blackpool. He showed me one of the best PK touch routines I've ever seen. In person, live. And it completely fooled me. Drop some love for Akshay, everyone. Dude, please have me over to India to lecture. I said I'll never do another lecture, or maybe do one or two, but India is one that I would absolutely do. The Moonshine deck has my head battered. I managed to find the standard version of the Moonshine deck. Moonshine at Blackpool? I didn't even know they were at Blackpool. What? How amazing is Michael Murray's effect showreel? And is he the nicest and most generous dealer with his time at the convention, or what? Yes, and yes. But also, actually, all the dealers were legends. But him and Daniel were absolute standouts. Also, James Kellogg and the guys from Spain. Do you know what? I couldn't put a pin between them all. Everyone was so lovely and so creative this year. And this is the thing. I came back from Blackpool feeling like I opened up the convention on the Friday. I opened it up to the arena, so it was like I thought it was going to be about 50 to 100 seats, and it turned out it's more like 500 seats. They had to stop letting people in, and then they had to add extra seats. So I was really, really overwhelmed by it. And after that lecture, I felt like I did really badly, but people said they liked it, and I was really flattered. And then I walked around. So for a while, for like half an hour, I felt like, oh, maybe I smashed this, and maybe that imposter syndrome that I've been suffering with for the last few years isn't so bad. And then I walked around the dealers hall, and I seen the dealers: Daniel Johnson, James Kellogg, Juan Capillo, Victor, everyone from Spain, Michael Murray, and I realized, yeah, that imposter syndrome, it's going to stick with you for a while, mate. Because everyone is just on another level, and it makes it, I don't think it's a bad thing. I feel like if I ever felt like I couldn't learn anymore, I think there was no point. I'm always going to be a student, and I loved seeing just how many levels there are to Magic, and how low down the running order I am, because there's stuff to aim for, and it was so sick. It was so good. Who else we got here? It was so funny we couldn't find it. Oh yeah. How's it going? How's it going, Caroline Rondell? I'm stuck with a binary code, says Pete and JT. Oh, where are we going? That effect with the key card was nice. They did not catch the move to bring the card to the top. Oh, thanks, dude. Oh, Henry, thank you, man. Dude, you're such a highlight of Blackpool. Rafi says, I can't say this enough. Your lecture was amazing. Thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate that, man. Oh, wow. Oh, David Peace, dude. Oh, man, it was so good. Oh, Danny Goldsmith's here. What? How? Why? This is so crazy, man. How can I even forget that? Like, Danny Goldsmith showed me probably the funniest trick of Blackpool, which you wouldn't expect. Me and Craig were crying laughing. But I got to say, drop some fire emojis for David Peace. Loved your lecture. Meetup was great to jam in there. Dude, thank you so much, David. I really appreciate that, man. Yo, thank you. Everyone show some love for David in the chat. I think, yeah, anyone who was at Blackpool this year will just know that compared to other years, I honestly feel like it was just the most swarmed and the busiest. Sav! It was good to see you too, man. I did enjoy the Sugar Shake. Mate, I want to speak to you about that. I want to do it on my channel, with your permission. Oh, what? I can't get over this. There's so many great people here. Ian Gore says, Lloyd, your Blackpool package arrived. Yes, they literally spent the entire day going through it all. Thanks for making it. Oh, dude, honestly, thank you for supporting me. Yeah, so this is the thing, right? In my... Oh, thanks, Calvin. Thanks for saying you love my lecture. Watching in Las Vegas. Figured out the PayPal Society thing. Thanks, Barry. Saw Danny in the Ruskin dropping giant coins out of his nose. Dude, Danny Goldsmith in real life. Do you know... Right, what I think about Danny Goldsmith in real life is that you have your favourite singers, and then you hear their album, and they're amazing, and then you see them live, and they're not amazing. But there's some singers like Freddie Mercury, who was better live than on the CD. That was kind of like Danny Goldsmith for me. I have pervertedly watched Danny's magic on the internet for years, and then I seen him live, and it was actually way better. And I didn't think it could be better. I was totally creeping out on him. He's a god. I literally did not get enough time to spend with anyone. Oh, Miles said, "Oh, yo, thank you, dude, Miles. That's an honor because you are great. You are an award-winning magician. You are literally one of the best magicians in the whole country." He says, "Lloyd, your lecture was great. I have used the signed Angle Z since." Miles, what did you think of the reactions you got from it? Danny says, "You can compare your work to others if you want, but you are very loved, not just for your beautiful being, but because you create wonderful." Oh, thank you, Danny. I love you, man. Thank you, dude. Bye, Tom. See you later. Danny, yeah. Dude, this black... Do you know, the only thing about... thanks, David, who says my Blackpool lecture was awesome. Best lecture. So, wow, thank you so much. Yeah, the only thing I would change about Blackpool this year, actually, was I would like it to be... I would like there to be less people. Because it was just too much. It's not a bad thing. It's just, it was overwhelming. My favourite thing at a convention is grabbing a quiet table and hanging out with people, anyone. And I couldn't do that this year. So if I could change one thing, it would absolutely be that. Or not maybe less people, but just more quiet time. Okay, there's so many comments. I did not expect all this. It's so good. Oh, thank you so much, Miles, saying about that. Be the Magician says, "Is there anywhere else we can see your lecture, as I didn't get to Blackpool till Saturday?" Says Be the Magician. So I'm trying not to shamelessly promote, but on my Patreon, patreon.com/LloydB, or you can join through YouTube, you can join up to the memberships. I did a warm-up lecture at Cardiff Magic Society, and I taught the same stuff in that warm-up lecture. Probably the most adult thing I've ever done in my life by preparing for one thing. But I taught the same stuff in that lecture and talked about the same points in that lecture as I did at Blackpool. And I've got that footage, so I just need to edit it down. Because what I did as I was performing, I was asking for genuine, real critique because I wanted to make my Blackpool lecture good. So I just got to edit that down and then I'll upload it to the Patreon. So all members of the Society of Secrets, which is my membership, will be able to watch that lecture. And also you get access to everything else on the Patreon, which is all my best material. But yeah, I found a copper, silver, brass set in my house. Have you ever performed one? No, but I was actually looking at buying one today, Rich. Yeah, so a funny story. I don't know if this is a funny story, but one thing I wanted to do is I've seen so many. Oh, thank you, Rich. He said he was at the lecture and it was great. Oh, thank you so much, Henry, man. I really appreciate it. What's going on here? Can't wait to see that Scientific Secrets. Oh, thank you for the link there, dude. So yeah, so one of the things. So a couple of years ago, actually, my entire life in magic, it's certain occasions I would go and see certain lecturers, and I'd be so excited to see them, and they would spend like an hour teaching me magic using props that they had, and at the end of the lecture, it would turn out that you couldn't perform anything you learned in the lecture because you had to buy a certain prop for every single trick. So the big thing that I wanted to do this year, which I'm happy I did, was that everything bar one like tiny thing which used the prop, but it was like really easy to get, or like super affordable to get. Everything in that lecture you could learn and perform it pretty much there and then, or at least go home and make the gimmick. So if there was a gimmick to make, you would just make it out of printing something, and if not, it was sleight of hand, routine based, or mental work. And because I never felt worse than going to a lecture, especially as a kid, having no money, and then being alienated by price, or because a lecturer was too greedy and their whole lecture was just a pitch for products. So I really made it an important fact that like my lecture was an inclusive lecture, and that everyone could perform everything they learned there and then on the day, or go home and make it with ease. And with that, then I actually had a different plan of what I was going to do at the end. But Craig said to bring stuff to sell, not to make money, but because some people want to collect things, and it just didn't like fully sit right with me, because it was against everything I did. So what I did eventually, it was Kaylee's idea, but I put these Blackpool packs together But at the end of the lecture, I said, don't buy them. Like, everything you learned it is in these packs, but like you can do everything you've learned at home. You don't need it. So it's only to those of you that like wanted to support me in some way. But I really didn't want to. I didn't want to alienate anyone, by price. So any of the younger crowd that were there, they all got this free. Anyone that was an annual member of my subscription, they all got it free. And then the remainder that was left, I put it up on my site, and I just want to say thank you all for. Cause I had a dealer's store for 3 days, and I closed it after 2 hours on the first day and didn't reopen it. So I do need to apologise, because Matt, who works with Craig, Matt Cluley, got shouted at a few times by people for me not being on my dealer's table. So I'm really sorry, Matt, and I'm sorry to anyone that came to the dealer's table expecting to see me there. I just didn't want to spend the weekend like selling stuff to people. I wanted to try and give as much back as I could. So all the lecture packs are gone now. Thank you all for the support. I've got a bunch of lecture notes left. I say a bunch, like 20 lecture notes. I don't know if I'm going to put them on sale or not. Yeah, but just want to say thanks. I went off on a bit of a tangent there. All right, so would you ever release a bigger version of Lux? No, I wouldn't release a bigger version of Lux. It's specifically for me, and it's specifically for EDC. Rafi says, I just sent you a video of what I've recently been working on. I hope you enjoy it. I will check it out after the live stream, dude. Thank you. Did you see Mike Hammer hosting the one? And if so, what were your thoughts on him? I'm Joseph. Oh, hey, Joseph. How's it going, dude? I was there. I was up in the gods, and I had terrible audio. And yeah, it's a crazy. I've heard stuff. I've read tweets. I've seen the reaction. It's it's not good, is it? Like, I don't want to get into drama publicly online. I really don't want to talk about that sort of terrible stuff on my channel. But yeah, I think he's just low hanging fruit, and he missed the mark. It's just whatever, innit? So Barry G says, is there any way to get the card for the one card ACAN effect here in the States? So I believe Daniel Johnson, this is Daniel Johnson's effect. I believe this is coming out through mindeffects.co.uk, which is Michael Murray's site. So it'll either be on sale now, or it'll be available very soon. And I'm pretty sure they ship to the US. They're a big company, so I'm pretty sure you'll get it in the US very soon. It's called Iceberg. This is the packaging. Just look for that. Can I show some visual card routine? Yeah, I can show visual card routine. What can I do? Let me take this ring off. This is I love doing this weird sort of effect. I have another ace. We'll use some jacks. Let's try this. We'll use 2 red 2s maybe. These cards are very old. If anyone's been watching my stream or my channel for a while, you'll know this is the same deck I've had for a year. This is the one I had a year ago, so this is very worn in. That's my excuse for messing this up. So we got the 2 of diamonds and the 2 of hearts. We need a random card selected. So any guesses as to what this could be? It's the 10 of clubs, right? The 10 is going to go into the center of the deck, and I'll place the 2s like this, so you can see there's a gap between them. Keep your eye on the 10 and the 2s as it visually melts all the way up to the top. We'll do it one more time. We've got the 2 of diamonds, the 10 of clubs, and the 2 of hearts. This time I'll place the 10 back in the center like this. You've got one job, which is to keep your eye on all 3 cards at once. So that's the 2 of diamonds, the 2 of hearts, and the 10. And watch as the 10 melts all the way up to the top of the deck. Is that all right? I think I flashed like 1,000 times there. That's a fun card routine that I'd be doing for a while. Take a tea, how's it going? When I'm feeling better, we'll have to book in a lecture for me. Dude, Rich, please, let's do it. And we need somewhere to film it to get some good footage. Yeah, Tigger, how you been? Trick of the convention for me. I can't. Honestly, the tricks that I included in my video were all the best. Like, I struggled to pick a best trick of the convention. There was just some highlights. The stuff from Mind Effects, James Kellogg's, actually everything on James Kellogg's stand, but that lock in particular, the Spanish guys, Juan Capilla and Victor Sands and everyone. Seeing Danny Goldsmith live and in person was out of this world. Of course, James Keatley's Bitcoin. How can I even forget? Like, this is the problem. I'm forgetting incredible pieces of magic. So, yeah, sorry. Muppet on Med says, I think laymen like ACANs, but it's crack to magicians. Yeah, dude. So ACAN... So I've done a lot of thinking on ACANs. Not as much as most magicians. I know like there's some people who are just gods of ACANs, but the reason my maximum effect exists is because ACANs can often feel more like a puzzle where they're just presented as an arbitrary playing card and an arbitrary number. Often you can often the especially the number part can feel entirely irrelevant in the memory of the audience. So when they think back to it at the end, even though yes, you found it at that number, it's more of the fact that you found it. And I'm sure there's people with different opinions on that. I just find it to be very much so that. But there's certain things you can do to enhance an ACAN. And also I think we obsess over the term any card at any number, whereas lay people don't. So for example, we also obsess over the details of the key plot points that have been set out by, I think it's Burglass, right? The set out the 10 key milestones you have to hit with them. But like one thing that I've noticed with ACANs, and I don't know if I've spoken about this, is that I find that if you can try this just to see if it works for you, but I find that if you demonstrate the impossibility of it first, so you actually run through the motions of one first and then perform one, it hits 10 times stronger than if you just say you're doing like a ACR routine and the card comes to the top. And this is the other thing about ACANs as well. People don't think about... Let me rephrase this. If you show someone that you can flourish, right? And now suddenly the card can just come to the top whenever you want. They don't think that you're doing magic. Maybe some will, and there's certain moments in that routine where they will think it's magic more than anything. But the resounding walk away for a lot of people, and it's my worst nightmare to hear, is, "Wow, did you see how fast his hands are?" But it shouldn't be magic. So, if you show someone some ambitious card work, some coin work, some sandwich routines, card to wallet, and then suddenly you do a perfect ACAN, and their card is at the position, so what, right? Because from what their experience of you is and your powers as a magician or your ability as a magician is, you can make that card go anywhere. So being at the certain number is no different to doing an ACAN, to doing an ambitious card when they think back, all right? So the ambitious card is in their mind kind of the same thing. Are you following? I find it so hard to articulate this stuff on the spot from a question like that. But if you do the ACAN cold, so you don't show that you've got incredible sleight of hand ability, or you don't show that you can make a card rise to the top and end up in your pocket and in your mouth, and then it's not so impressive that it's just in the deck at the right place. That's not as impressive. If you don't do that step first, now suddenly if you just go for the ACAN, then it's much more powerful, I think. And the other thing that I talked about just then briefly was that the first part is that if you precursor, so let's say you did some coin work, let's say you did some other things not card related, then when it comes to the ACAN, I just find that if you stop and expressly show them what the effect is, that you say I want to try and do something, and I want to show you how impossible it is. Even if it's just as simple as not actually doing anything, you very simply say, look, if you were to name the 6 of diamonds, And you said the number 17. Well, I'll do 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This would be 12. Now, if you would say 6 of diamonds and it's at the 12th position, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If you'd said 13, it wouldn't have been there. If you'd said 11, it wouldn't have been there. It was very much expressly in that exact position. Now that's what we're going to try and do. I find just laying that out on the table, like literally explaining and showing to them before you perform the effect, amplifies it tenfold because they can really understand how impossible it is. So that's just my views. I know there will be different opinions, but I just think it's along the same lines of, when you do cardistry, and then I can't do cardistry, and then you expect people to think that you're doing magic. It's not going to work. Some people will, but on the whole, it's not going to work. And it's the same with if you can make a card jump to your pocket and into your wallet or to the top and then restore. Don't finish with an A can. Like, don't show them all these incredible feats of magic and then make the card be somewhere in the deck and it just happens to be the number. And also, and I won't talk anymore about it, A cans are not magic. They can be framed as magic, but it's implausible. It's unlikely, but it's not impossible. So I do think that there's times when you do that, and that's kind of like why Maxim I find is powerful in the way I perform is because it uses their personal information and it feels like it's always going to be predefined. So if it's someone and it comes up and it says spell their full name and it's there, they think that was always going to be the destination, which makes it kind of feel more magic. But either way, just a few points, just a few thoughts on the ACAN. I'm actually going to be doing a huge multi-episode. Each episode is going to be over an hour long treatise or masterworks on the ACAN, and that'll be on my Patreon. So if anyone wants to go and join up on there, patreon.com/Lloyd Barnes, or sorry, patreon.com/Lloyd B, then I'll be posting that in the next few weeks. A huge series just covering everything I know about the ACAN and all the different thoughts and theories on it. I hope I didn't lose anyone there. Pete and JD said, anyone have any thoughts on the Vox ACAN? I do. I've been practicing it lately. It's so good. There's something about using the phone that just, as the Siri, it just makes it much more fun for the audience, and that's why it gets the great reactions that you can see. I talk about this in other contexts. I call it the magpie effect, which is sometimes I'll look at two objects that just look interesting and create a trick out of it because I know that watching it will be satisfying. And there's certain times in Magic where you can introduce a phone, and just by having the use, look, here's the thing, right? If you are, one of the best things to do to get misdirection is to ask someone to film you doing the magic, because people love taking their phone out. As soon as I start talking about phones, a lot of you have probably just checked your phone, right? Just quickly glance to see if you have any notifications. Just by the very mention of phone, people are addicted to them. So there's something that there's always like a sort of itch in the back of people's heads where they want to just check their phone. All of us are like that. So I think the cool thing with Vox is that when you introduce the phone, you start using it and playing with it in the context of the routine. It just scratches an itch, and it's almost like when water comes out your ear after a shower. It's just like, oh yes, it's satisfying. And I think it's one of the reasons. I don't know I can't explain fully why, but why it's so powerful. I would 100% recommend it. 100%. Okay, damn, that's visual. That was epic. Oh, thank you so much, everyone, for the love. Any moonshine still for sale? Probably, George. I've never sold them personally, apart from when I had my own company 10 years ago. But I have my own personal collection, and that's it. Did you ever get a tattoo with your wife? Oh, wow. Did you get a sheep tattoo in the end? No, I did not get a sheep tattoo, Joseph. Any ideas for ACAN where the spectator deals the cards simple and direct? Yeah, there's a ton of ideas for spectators can deal the cards and things, but it's part of a much longer discussion, and that type of stuff is best not shared on YouTube, I don't think. Fiddling Johnny says, I think David Regal's A-Can called Simpatico is a nice variation on the routine and great for the spectator, in my opinion. Penguin still has some moonshines for sale. Oh, Alex, I use A-Can to prove that the spectator's choices aren't random, that everything is predetermined. Oh, yo, thanks for the super chat, dude. And that's a great piece of thinking on that. Wow, everyone drop some love and some fire emojis for Alex right there in the chat. Put my camera back in position. So many comments. Did Drop by Thomas fool you? It killed me. I've known Thomas Bader for a good couple of years, so I wasn't fooled by it because I know his methods, or some of them, but it fooled mostly everyone. What is that spinning on your lamp? That thing? That's a floating deck. Rafi says, what's your opinion on the accumulator deck? I actually didn't get to see it, so I have no opinion on it at all, man. I again, another one of the stands. I only made it around 75% of the dealer's hall. First year ever, because normally I see every single table. Can you do a tutorial on sloppy double? I can't do a tutorial on the sloppy double because the one that I use is created by Bill Perkins, so it's not my effect to teach. And just as a side note, did anyone watch Jeremy Griffith's video? Go onto my channel and look at my community tab. I shared a video on Saturday morning and he talks about YouTube, magic, exposure, elevation, education. Fantastic. And it's so important that people understand the distinction between exposure and education and elevation. And one of the things that I'm so keen on here is that I try my best almost every instance to not expose other people's work and only educate people on my own work. But I can show you the slop double the way I do it, but I can't teach it. But this is something that Bill Perkins shared with me many years ago. And it's, yeah, you just kind of do it. Like I can't really explain, but there's no get ready. You just push over. There was a triple. Let me try and do this again. I probably should use some less warning cards. Like, as you guys can tell, these are literally a year old. But that's it. I wasn't even proving they were doubles. Let me do this. So 1, 2, 3. I'm no pro at doubles, so I consistently mess them up. When is Dex coming out? Says Card Trick Academy. Any Dex update? Says Magic and Mentalism Library. It's in the final. We are all systems go. There's no turning back at this point. That's all I'll say on it. Michael Murray also does a great A-Can. I can't remember the name of it now, but it released. Oh yeah, I think I bought that. I think I bought that as a PDF from his site. I think. Rich Relish says, what's your biggest, how the hell did they think of that moment when you heard a method? For me, it's Osterlin's breakthrough card system. For me, it is probably Healed and Sealed by is it Axel Heckler? That is crazy to think of that as a method. That's proper creative thinking. Do you know the one method that I love that I would never have thought of, but it's incredible? It's Colossal Killer. It's so much more powerful, as you know, if anyone's done Colossal Killer. When you do Colossal Killer, you pray that they are off by 1 because the revelation is that much stronger. That's one of those like cheeky things that I never would have thought of. Also, there's a trick by Michael Murray where you have 5 people or 3 or 4 people, whatever, think of a number between 1 and 100. You say, I'm also thinking of a number between 1 and 100. What do you think it is? I won't go into it because the performance, you know. But that thing I never would have thought of. It's almost like literally mental misdirection, and it blew my mind. Magic and Mentalism Library says, I'm wondering whether or not to go to Blackpool next year. Should I invest? Absolutely. I think Blackpool is it's a pilgrimage. It's a rite of passage. It is the ultimate magic convention, and I think it's like, when you see like, and this is a slight tangent, but you see like magic reviewers that don't do live performances in the videos, then they can only like have that much authority on it. It's almost like the same, like, not that you can't be a great magician, but I think you kind of have to go to magic conventions to elevate your own magic. You have to go and experience things. You have to go and be in these places and see what's happening, and be around your peers, watch what people do, and be critiqued by people live, and perform under the hardest circumstances, which is normally to magicians. Sort of grind your teeth, to cut your teeth a bit, and elevate your own ability. So should you invest in it? 100%. Will you regret it? No, not at all. What's your go-to self-working card effect? Go-to self-working card effect. How self-working is self-working? Self-working. It's probably this thing. So let's say this is quite a cool one. So someone would select a card, right? So I'll go through the cards, and then if you were here, you can't stop. You're not here. So I'll run through and just, let's say you remember this card, okay? It gets left into the deck. And somebody, the first one that pops up, somebody type a number between 10 and 20. And what we'll do is we'll deal to that number, and then we'll deal to each digit of that number. Okay, so whatever the first number between 10 and 20 is, I'll deal to that, and I'll deal to each digit. So I'll just wait. Danny Goldsmith says, this was my first Blackpool convention, and at the time of my life, I would recommend it to every magician. Wow. Do that. If Danny recommends it, then. So Magic Mentalism Library says 18. So you remember the card was selected, lost in the deck, no controls. We're going to deal to the number and then deal to each digit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, right? I did that one-handed so you knew there was nothing funny going on. I hope everyone can remember the card. I think it was the 10 of clubs. So that's dealing down to 18. Hopefully the 10's not in any of these, right? And now, and the spectator would do all this. Now we're going to deal to each digit. So that would be the 1 and the 8. So we'll go, there's the 1, and now we'll deal 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just do a little check there. So let's picture the card was selected, lost and left in the center of the deck. Any number was named. Before we did anything, I said we'll deal to the number, then we'll deal to the digits. As fair as it gets. If everything's gone correctly, you've seen the 10 of clubs wasn't any of these cards. Hopefully it's not in any of these cards. But the exact card that's at the exact position that you chose ahead of time. 18. The 10 of clubs. No duplicates or anything. That's a like super simple self-working trick that always like gets more of a reaction than you'd expect. So that's my answer to the question. Magic Seance says, any card at any phone number. Volunteer thinks of a card and a random phone number, calls the number, and card is revealed by stranger or voicemail. Yes, dude. That's a sick trick by Mark Kirstein called Diverter. And there's a performance of me doing that on my YouTube channel to Kaylee on one of the full episodes, and it blew her away. I think she cried. I think. George says, did the lecture notes go out in brown paper wrapping? The wife will have my Peters if any more magic arise. Oh, I'm not sure. It went out in just plastic wrap. Not plastic, but like grey wrapping. Oh, Rafi bought Holywood and it's outstanding. Yeah, dude, it is outstanding. Each one of those units, by the way, it takes a day to make, in case anyone didn't know. Pete and J says, I'm flabbergasted. Hello, Pascal. Depends on the finances, I guess. I'll definitely go again, but it's next year already. I don't know. Yeah, guys, did you like that little card at any number? Do you want to learn it? Or I think most of you know what the method is. I don't think I need to explain it to you guys, but I'm happy to if you want to. With that being said, what time is it? Okay, so if anybody wants to know, I'll explain it. If not, Kaylee needs to come home with the baby soon. Oh, no. Okay, let me read. Awesome. Finance, only reason I can do so. Yeah, it can be expensive. Will Society's secret member be able to get decks a bit cheaper? Probably not, because I won't be selling decks. It'll be a Murphy's Magic product. So you'll just have to buy it through a store. I can try, but I don't think I'll be able to get any because I don't sell Magic. I work for the company. Did you see Guy Balvi product? I did not see it. What was it? Magic Box. Oh, that's another stall I couldn't get. I said I only did 75% of the dealer's room. I didn't get a chance to see you guys. I had a good weekend, but too busy, too many people. But I really wish I could have bloody seen you guys. Miko says double ACAN final one. Spectator opens a deck that she's held for the whole time when the card is found in her deck. Sick. What do you do when you lose a card while controlling it? Good question. I just dropped some cards right now. What I do is this. So I really need someone here with me when I lose it, because it depends on what the routine is, what I'm doing. But generally, I'll do something very basic. So don't judge me on my creativity on this. But let's say the lost card was the 3 of diamonds. So I think it's on top. It's not, and it's not on bottom. At this point, I don't know what the card is. So I'd say, look, you've chosen a card. We've lost it back in the deck. It's somewhere in the middle, right? Let me have a look through here. What was the card? The 3 of diamonds? Okay. So I'd ask them just straight up what it was. And then I'd start to go through the deck and show. I don't know if you guys can see. I actually can't see a 3 of diamonds in here at all, which is annoying because I really thought I knew where it was in the deck, but obviously then I can palm it out or something. But basically, if I lost it, I would just ask them essentially what it is, and then cull it out. So if it was like an ace diamonds, I would look through and then cop it out or whatever, something like that. Depends on the routine, but because the spectators generally don't really know where you're going to go with the routine, you can do anything. Ion or Lon, is that Ion? Plan to do a Blackpool experience for sure. Any other magic related, not magic related places to visit in England? Oh God, so many places, dude. I'm going to be jumping off the chat soon, so I'll address that another day. But there's so many magic places. Like, it depends what you're into. But I live in Wales. I live in a gorgeous part of the UK, and I live right by the sea, so I'm always like kind of hang out in Wales. David says, my wife said not more magic. I said, yeah, but it's Lloyd. She said, that's okay then. You've made the good. Oh, woohoo! Your wife's a legend. Thanks, mate. TFU Lloyd, I really wanted to meet you at Blackpool, but I didn't see you. Please, can you show me a good trick? A good trick. What can I show as a good trick? Let me see. What do I have here? Do I have a pencil? Pen. This is fun. So I have a pencil and a rubber band. It's on my finger like this. Hope you guys can see. Can you see if I put the pencil through the rubber band? Just between the two fibers, watch. And actually, really quickly, if I take the pencil, we can try this. If I take it out of the rubber band, what's the good angle? Here. I can just melt it straight back through. Here's a quick one as well. You guys all know this routine, right? If you haven't seen this before. You guys all know this, where you take a rubber band and say that there's a name for it, right? Crazy Man's handcuffs. So I love it. I absolutely love the effect. But I just hate the moves. So I try and do it without any moves at all, and it looks like this. It's a stupid magician joke. Okay. Did Kaylee like Blackpool? Wasn't it her first time there? Kaylee loved it. There was a few creepy magicians, which wasn't very nice for her. There was a few magicians that were trying to be a bit too hands-on, shall I say, which was gross. And also, like, we kept getting like stopped for like photographs and signatures, so that was a bit. It was, I mean, super that's super flattering and really nice to experience. By like the end of day 3, you kind of just want to be able to walk in a straight line. But yeah, she enjoyed it. I want to ship my wife off to spend a month with Kaylee to learn how to be a proper magician's wife. I'll have to make a retreat for the wives of magicians. What's a good application for roughing fluid other than the invisible deck? I so want to say someone's trick, but it'll be ruined. But also a great one, which is a bit of an open source thing, is the Quantum Deck by Craig Petty. Totally check that out. What is the next big magic event you'll be attending? Saw there's a magic jam in Leeds soon. I didn't know about the magic jam in Leeds. JRW just joined Wednesday coming out. Hey JR, just go back through the video. It's been mentioned about 1,000 times. There's no definitive date, but there's no turning back now, so it's coming out soon. Next big magic jam. What would the next one be? The next magic jam would be probably the Leeds one. I'd love to go to that, actually. I want a magic jam. We need to make one. Me and Craig might be doing a convention, /are doing a convention soon as well, in the summer. Can you tell us how you do it, please? One thing I learned from Blackpool is it can be very expensive to be a prop magician. The price on some of the coins and the props, some props are crazy. Do you know any good props mentalism effects? Yes. Pete Turner's Star Sign Revelation is always my favourite thing ever. Okay, so the effect that I did with the ACAN for y'all, I'll just quickly, it's super simple. It's actually, there's a book by James Weiss, I think his name was, and it's like 101 card tricks. And this is one of the tricks in that book that I learned as a child. As like an 8-year-old, I learned this trick. Or however old I was. I was probably a lot older than 8 because I was just dull. So, the card gets selected. All that's going to happen is that the card is going to be put back in the 9th position. So all I do for that is I push over 3 cards. I push over another 3 cards. I push over 2 cards and then let them take one out. If they don't take out that card and they want to go for another one, that's fine. I'll push over, but I'll keep a break and I keep my fingers pinched against these 8 cards. And then whatever card they take out, like this, I'll replace everything except for the 8 back down and say, place your card back here. All right. So in this case, it's the 2 of diamonds. So at speed, I'll do it with the card face up. I'll say, I need you to select a card. There's 4, 7, 8. Remember this card, 9, put it in. What is it, 3 of clubs? Look, we'll put it face up. And that's it. That's the whole method. As long as you can do that, you can do the trick. Also, if you can't do that, you could do this completely hands-off. Take a piece of paper, write a prediction, and look at what the 9th card is. So you could literally just go through the deck like this, look at the 9th card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. King of Hearts. Right, I'll put it face up for now. Write on a piece of paper, you will select, or the card at your number will be the King of Hearts. Easy. You don't need to do any sleight of hand. Either way, King of Hearts is 9th. This also works. This also works in different positions too, but I'll cover it at a later date. Any number added up between 10 and 20, when and then taken away from itself, or taken away from the total, or whatever the wording is, the answer will always be 9. So if you did 14, you'd add 1 and 4, which comes to 5. You take 5 away from 14, which is the original number, that comes to 9. So let me explain that again. So this is an all like a mental math trick. You say to somebody, think of a number between 1 and 10, add the 2 digits up and take them away from themselves. I forgot to add 2 digits up. When they do that, they'll always be on 9. So if it was 17, you would add 1 and 7, which comes to 8. 8 from 17 is 9. It's always 9. That's quite difficult to do and quite difficult to explain. But what's not is to have them literally do it. So I say, think of the number between 10 and 20. Let's say they say 15. I say, what's going to happen is you're going to deal 15. You're going to pick up that pile, and then you're going to deal for each number. So 1 and the 5. Which is exactly the same thing. You're adding the 2 digits together and taking them away. So let me show you. So let's say the number's 15. Don't forget that card's down in the 9th position, right here. So they deal 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now we just deal each digit. So 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And their card will always be there. How cool is that? So let me show you this again. We'll put this back in the 9th position. Okay. And let's say the number is 18. It'll work exactly the same way. Or even 11, because it's less dealing time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Deal for each digit. 1, 1. And it's there. Last time, let's say the number's 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And now you deal for each digit. 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's there. Completely self-working. All you need to do is either have the card at the 9th position or know what the card is in the 9th position and make it a prediction. It's as simple as that. Completely baffling. When you tell people the mental trick, when you say think of a number between 10 and 20, add the digits up, take them away, I generally find most people figure that out. But when they start to deal cards, and notice in the performance earlier, I had time misdirection. So when they had the pile dealt the first time, like this, I was like, oh, so your card's not here. And that sort of distracts them. Then they do it again. I say your card's not here. And then I say, that's the final card, your card's not here. All this is time misdirection. It just makes it a bit tricky for them to sort of backtrack. And then it ends up being the effect. It's way easy to do and really, really fooling. What's cool is that you can do it throughout the entire deck at different positions. So if it's a number, if they think of a number between 20 and 30, then the card at the 18th position will always be the force card. If they think of a number between 30 and 40 and so on, it'll work the same way. So one of the things you can do is that you could take 4 duplicates. Like, for example, a Queen of Hearts, put it 9, 18, 27, and 36. And then say, and you can put a 5th one if you want, but you don't need to. Then say, think of any number between 1 and 52. Don't make it too high, but any number between 1 and 52. And what you're going to do, before you even think of the number, you're going to deal to it, and then pick up that pile, and you'll deal to each digit. And then, oh, wow, is that a super chat from Jake? Yo, dude, Jake, you didn't have to do that, man. Can you drop some fire and some love for Jake in the chat there? Yo, love you, Jake, man. Thanks, dude. I didn't even see that come in. Thank you so much. Thanks, Jake. Legend. Drop some love in there. But yeah, so what you can do is you could have them think of any number between 1 and 52, then they can deal down to it, and then you'll reveal the force card. So it's not an any card any number, it's a card any number, a predicted card any number. Luch, didn't get a chance to meet you at Blackpool. I was only there Saturday. It was pretty mental. Dude, I'd love to meet you. I've seen a lot of your work in the past, and you are a living genius and an incredible performer. Yeah, dude, I'm so sad we didn't get to meet up. But someone mentioned there's a Leeds Magic Jam happening. I'm pretty sure you're from like that neck of the woods. I'll try my best to be there. It would be so cool to hang out with you, man, because you are amazing. Stu, is there any way to catch the live podcast? No, there wasn't. And the podcast was cut short after 40 minutes as well because it was a car crash. How the ACAM project is going? It's going good. It'll be on the Patreon in the next few weeks. It's a big one, so I'm trying to do it right. You got the right ID here. Crisscross Wizard Weekend is Friday, the 21st to the 23rd of April. I think I'm in Disneyland then. I think. I don't know. Katie will tell me. Crisscross Convention is soon, says Alex. You and Craig are doing what now? We need more of that. Yeah. Tommy Fury versus Jake Paul. Who is going to win? Oh, that's a good question. My head says Tommy, but my heart says Jake. Don't kill me. ACAN project, color me entry. Yeah, no. So Watchdog. That's a cool username, by the way. Basically, on my Patreon, I am going to be doing a multi-episode, each one being like an hour or so long, like sort of masterworks on everything I know about the Any Card, Any Number, and showing all the different approaches and practical attacks that I take towards it. Because, well, I could ramble on about that for a long time. Anyway, I only planned to be on here for 45 minutes tonight because I'm really not well. You can hear my nose is like bunging up now, and I feel like crap. But I've had such a blast chatting to you all, and I can't wait to see you all again soon. I'll be back on Tuesday for Tutorial Tuesday, but I'm gonna cut it off here. It's an hour and a half in. I need to go and sleep. But if there's any more questions, like super quickly, fire them in. If not, I'm gonna call it a day. But I've had a blast this weekend, and I hope you all enjoyed a few of the things that we've seen. And I'm just rambling. And thank you all, everyone, for the super chats. You're literally, thank you. Who give the super chat? I can read. I can actually see a list now. Alex Bo, Alex Kilpatrick, Naman, Sean, Akshay, David, Alex again, and Jake. You guys are the bomb. Thank you all so much. Blackpool fever, dude. Yes, because dude, I'm literally on antibiotics and steroids. I'm on doxycycline and something else. Will I be going to Rendezvous? What's Rendezvous? Is that from South Park, the movie? Where is the Rendezvous? I want to go to it, whatever it is. I want to hang out with some magicians again. But yes, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. I've had a blast, actually. It's been a while. It feels like it's been forever. It's probably been like 2 weeks since the last one. Thanks for all the questions. Thank you for all the love and the support on the Magic Dream thing in Paris. Well, I'm going to be at Disneyland Paris the week of that, so I might be there. But yeah, all right, guys. Have a good weekend, or what's left of it. Enjoy the boxing if anyone's going to watch it. I'm just going to go and chill. Okay, speak to you all soon. Peace.